We've all talked to people who are kind of looking at Jace, and maybe we've got some more questions than we were hoping to have at this stage.
If I was forced to pick at one and I'm the Nationals right now, I'm probably taking.
Peter, I do think that at this point we've heard it from enough scouts to start to kind of question Jace LaViolette's grip on 1-1. He's the top player on our board at this stage. I don't think early on, again, for hitters, we need to have a little bit more time. But some of the questions we've had from the scouting community are just related to how the body looks, maybe some of the athleticism that is not quite as loud as it was a year ago. Through 7 games, he's hitting 217, 438, 652. He's got 3 home runs, 1 double. In classic Jace LaViolette fashion, he is walking a ton. He's got a 28.1% walk rate. That's with 9 walks, 10 strikeouts, good for a 31.3% strikeout rate. So it's kind of the same patient, selective Jace LaViolette with miss concerns. It's been a lot of swing and miss early this season against most pitch types, and I've just heard from some scouts who are kind of wondering about the body at this point. He's not running quite as well early, and he did already have a bit of an unconventional 1-1 college hitter profile. I don't think he's trending in the right direction. What are your thoughts on Laviolette and what you've been hearing? Because I know both you, Jacob, myself, we've all talked to people who are kind of looking at Jace, and maybe we've got some more questions than we were hoping to have at this stage.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the main, I don't know if you can call it red flag or critique, whatever you want to say, but I think the main aspect with him that's been pointed out is how the bodies looked. Last year he was this, he still is 6'5", 6'6", but he was this 6'6" Adonis, like physical athlete, like really good body, moved really well. Could go and get it in center field a little bit, posted plus run times down the line. This year he's more filled out. And some guys filling out like Merrick Houston, that's a real positive development. But with Laviolette, how much of that weight is good weight, and how much of it is taking away from kind of that sneaky and appealing athleticism and speed that he displayed in the outfield, or run times wise. I think he's off to a slow start. He's making contact, I think, at just a 68% overall clip. And I think the main thing is just just kind of the body. It's the transformation has been interesting, to say the least. And I don't really know what you have to add on it. I'm trying to not be as harsh.
Yeah, well, I mean, he still has impressive physical tools. The raw power is obviously still there. But I think I've just heard similar questions from scouts that you've heard. Like, the body just looks a little bit bigger. The athleticism doesn't look quite as explosive. I mean, he'd been a guy who had turned in 70 grade run times at his best. Like a 6'6", 230-pound player running plus is impressive, and I don't think we're getting that quite as much. I've heard from some scouts too who just think the swing is looking a little bit different. Like, to me, when I looked at it, I thought the swing is a bit stiffer than it was even a year ago. There's less movement in his hands pre-pitch. He's kind of taking a high handset and going directly to the ball in his swing. I don't necessarily think that specifically is a huge issue, but it's an odd look to me. I would imagine there are probably some scouts who look at him and wonder where the rhythm is at in his swing, and if that is like part of the reason why there's so much swing and miss for a guy who does have a good understanding of the zone and seems to pick out the pitches he needs to be swinging at. And so if you're looking at Jace LaViolette and you're saying, okay, now we're much more likely to think of him as a definite corner profile who is maybe an average runner than this outlier athlete who could play center field and be a plus runner, I do think that colors the profile quite a bit. And when you're swinging and missing this much at this stage in the season, I mean, the one question he needed to answer and really improve upon this spring to cement himself as the 1-1 was just making more contact. And so far, we haven't seen it. We'll see how he does moving forward. But for whatever you thought of the 1-1 conversation preseason, it is more open today than it was then.
Yeah.
In my mind.
No, I'm with you. And I was forced to pick at one, and I'm the Nationals right now. I'm probably taking Jamie Arnold, at least at this stage. But
Yep.
that's a conversation that'll be ongoing. But I'm happy you brought up the swing with LaViolette, because on top of him looking a bit bigger, um, it is kind of a unique look in the box. And it's just like I'm looking at video of it right now. It's just like very like kind of stiff and rigid. And it's just this like,
Hmm.
it's not this like smooth, rhythmic left-handed stroke or for righties a smooth. It's just not a smooth,
I think
aesthetically
of
pleasing look.
this is a very different hitter, and it's from the right side, but it reminds me of the critique that Caleb Bonnemer got as a high schooler last year. Like he is just so still in the box, and there's like next to no movement, and he got a lot of critiques from scouts because of that. And I wonder if the same scouts who are maybe a little worried about Bonnemers will also have similar concerns about Laviolette's.
Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to follow. Yeah, he's an interesting case.
Hmm.
Like you said, the biggest thing going into this year for him and a lot of other guys was to make more contact, improve upon the hit tool.
Hmm.
And so far it's been a little bit of a tough go, but like you said, the physical tools and physicality with him are impressive, maybe a little bit more impressive, especially in the body's physicality, than one would like. He's still got double plus raw power, but it's not this kind of like strong looking like he's certainly not as lean as he was last year.
Hmm.
So we'll see how he does in SEC play, but certainly something to watch, I'd say, going forward.